Another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I'm your host, Neil Johnson. I'm so excited because articles of impeachment have been filed in the great state of Michigan, folks. This is a big one, and I know a lot of you are going to say, Neil, it doesn't matter. They're not going to get impeached. No. Don't think about it this way. We have far too many Republican legislators in states throughout the nation, in the nation itself, that are unwilling, whether it's at the federal or state level, that are unwilling to file articles of impeachment. Do you remember when Secretary Mayorkas, when Republicans couldn't even gather the courage to file articles of impeachment against Mayorkas? It creates a legal stain, as it should, upon Secretary of State Benson. Look at what they did to Trump with impeachment. Sorry, I had a phone call trying to call in, but this is a big one. Republican lawmakers are pursuing impeachment against Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. And if you do not remember who Jocelyn Benson is or don't know who she is, she's the Secretary of State of Michigan. She is absolutely the worst, okay? Absolutely the worst. No, Barry, this isn't impeachment from the Democrats. This is Republicans impeaching the Secretary of State of Michigan. And I'm going to read to you something because I listened to Jim DeSantis' speech, okay? He had a press conference about this, about impeaching Jocelyn Benson, and talked about just how lawless she has been. And I don't know if you all remember, I did a video on this, but this was... yeah, I've been doing a jig since I heard. I see your comment, Robin. Jocelyn Benson, I did a video on her some time ago, and it was a video that kind of widely circulated. I did some commentary on it, where she said, now, I just want you to know, if any of you out there, any of you election officials aren't certifying the election, we're going to get you. We're going to come for you. Do you guys remember that video? That was Jocelyn Benson, Secretary of State of Michigan. In other words, even if you find something wrong, if something's fraudulent, you need to immediately certify it. That's what she's saying. Why would you certify fraud? Okay? So listen to this. A downriver Republican lawmaker said he will introduce articles of impeachment against Democratic Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson, largely based on election administration decisions she's made throughout her terms as Secretary of State. The resolution from State Rep. Jim DeSantis, Republican of Carleton, is unlikely to result in Benson's conviction and removal from office, which I already covered, okay? Which needs 2/3 support in the Senate of Michigan, which I believe is controlled by Democrats. DeSantis indicated he had not yet received a commitment from Republican House leadership regarding whether the measure would be put up for a vote. When a Secretary of State breaks this many laws, okay, listen, this is from his speech. When a Secretary of State breaks this many laws, goes off the reservation that severely, I don't know anything else that we can do as a body other than to hold her accountable, DeSantis told reporters Tuesday. There's no other controlling authority. I can't stress that to you enough. The courts are not correcting this. And by the way, I think the courts have ruled against Jocelyn Benson at least 5 times. I have it 7 times. Help me out if you're from Michigan. I think they've ruled against the courts. Our woke-tard courts have ruled against Jocelyn Benson, I think it's 7 times. And now we're seeing this finally because the courts aren't fully correcting it. Benson, okay, who is running for the Democratic nomination for Michigan governor, said through her campaign that the attacks were baseless. Baseless claims, folks. And politically motivated. The effort makes a mockery of voters in Lansing, said Nikki Goldstein, Benson's campaign manager. Instead of taking up urgently needed legislation on real issues like affordable housing, school funding, and literacy investments, the cost of living and raising wages, they're falling all over themselves to find ways to continue attacking a frontrunner for governor by pursuing a senseless impeachment inquiry, Goldstein said. In Michigan, much like at the federal level, state lawmakers can impeach an official with a majority vote in the 110-member Michigan House of Representatives for corrupt conduct in office for crimes and misdemeanors. The House then elects 3 of its members to prosecute the impeachment in front of the 38-member state Senate. The impeached individual cannot be convicted without support from 2/3 of the senators elected and serving. Punishment for a Senate conviction shall extend no further than removal from office, but the person convicted shall be liable to punishment according to law, according to the state constitution. Okay. Now, what's really interesting about this, and I think this is really key, is that with Jocelyn Benson, I believe it was her attorney. I remember this. Go back on this. Those of you in Michigan, again, can help me. But I think it was her attorney that said Jocelyn Benson would only follow laws that she deemed to be right. Do you guys remember this? So she's basically a law unto herself. That's what she stated. That's Jocelyn Benson. Now, everybody in the mainstream media is freaking out because Trump, who has executive power vested in him, executive authority according to Article 2 of the United States Constitution, the liberal media is freaking out over him not running down to El Salvador to bring back a criminal, illegal gangbanger. Okay? And yet, Jocelyn Benson can be a law unto herself, and the liberal media isn't going to say anything about that. So she has literally broken election laws in the state of Michigan. She's been ruled against in court 7 times. But the mainstream media doesn't touch her. This is nuts. So this is a big deal. And I would tell you, if you're in Michigan, you need to call your legislators and make sure they support Jim DeSantis and what he's doing. Okay? And I'm going to turn up the volume on my computer. I've got my computer here, and I got it plugged into some Wi-Fi. I'm going to let you listen to just a little bit of this. Let me see here. And I'll try and put this up right in front of the...
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Today I'm introducing House Resolution 118.
House Resolution 118. Articles of
Impeachment.
Impeachment.
Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson. As a legislator and lifelong resident of the state of Michigan, it is my belief that we are dealing with the most lawless Secretary of State in Michigan history.
Most lawless
Not only has she flaunted
Secretary of State
laws,
in Michigan history.
Michigan courts have ruled against her in 7 different instances.
Exactly. There he says it. 7 different instances.
Secretary Benson's lawyer has stated, when questioned in open court, that the Secretary will obey only the laws that she deems constitutional.
The Secretary of State will obey the laws only that she deems constitutional. That's what she said. That's what the attorney said in court. So this is a completely lawless person. She is absolutely 100% lawless. She needs to be impeached. I mean, it won't go, folks. I mean, I just want you to understand that it will not go to, like, she won't be removed by the Democrat Senate. Okay, that's not going to happen. But she's running for governor. This is bringing this to light, and it needs to be brought to light. Okay? Yeah, please go support Mike Lindell, folks. MyPillow.com/lumberjack, or call 1-800-568-2865. I just saw Michelle had posted that. He's in the fight of his life out there in that trial. I mean, I just did a 1-hour-long live stream. I know it's a little bit of time, but go watch it. I posted what I felt was a true work of art today, folks, for a video about lefties losing it, about meltdowns on the left. It's beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. You're going to love it if you go watch it. For whatever reason, I didn't thumbnail and title it correctly because it's not doing great. But I'm telling you, I've dropped 2 other videos today. One was a live stream, and then the other was the lefties video. So anyways, so please do go support Mike Lindell. We'll see you on the next episode, folks. I love y'all. Keep fighting the good fight. Peace out.